Oh man, I can't wait to learn more about what makes Australia, this continent right here, so special. Today, when we read the book Australia, you are going to practice listening for unknown words. Unknown words, huh? Oh, that's right. An unknown word is a word that you don't understand or that you haven't heard before. So, the other week when we read about Africa, we heard a couple unknown words. On this page, we learned that Africa has these grassy places called savannas. And in the caption of the photograph, it said that savannas have few trees. Say few. When we read this book the first time, we didn't know what the word few meant. That was an unknown word. It wasn't? Good. And then we had to think, what could few mean? We looked at the photograph, we read the words one more time, and then we were able to figure out the unknown word. So let's go back and practice that really quickly before we read about Australia. Savannas have few trees. I'm going to ask a question. What does few mean? Your turn. When I look at the photograph, I can help myself answer the question. This photograph has one tree. I don't see a lot. So when it says few, that makes me think that few means not a lot. When I ask the question, what does few mean? I can look at the picture and I can look at the words to help me answer my question and learn what that unknown word means. When we read about Australia, you will hear some unknown words or some words that you don't understand or haven't heard before. When great readers hear an unknown word, they ask a question, and then those great readers look at the photographs and listen to the words again to try to figure out what it means. So let's practice. Welcome to Australia. Australia is the world's smallest continent. It is both a continent and a country. People hike in the Uluru National Park. The largest pieces of land on Earth are continents. There are, how many? Oh yeah, 7. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Australia is the yellow continent on the map. Fingers up. Point to Australia on the map. Ready, set, go. There it is. You can see on the map it is the smallest. People of Australia. Most people in Australia live in big cities. Some ride a monorail to get from place to place. Monorail? Monorail? I've never heard that word before, and I don't know what it means. So it's an unknown word. I can ask a question to help me figure out what that word means. So I'm going to say, what does monorail mean? I'm going to look at the photograph and then read the words one more time. This says Sydney, Australia, so I know where they are in Australia. They're in a place called Sydney. And I see some buildings. I see a train. I'm going to read the words one more time. Most people in Australia live in big cities. Some ride a monorail to get from place to place. Okay, so a monorail is something that people ride when they want to get from one place to another place. If you think you can tell where is the monorail in this photograph, point to it. Ready, set, go. Oh, you think it's this? Oh, that's a monorail? Oh, so you guys, a monorail is like a train. But in Australia, they just call it something different. Wow. That was an unknown word, but now we know what it means. A monorail is a train. People ride a monorail or a train to get from place to place. Thanks, Kipsters. Some people in Australia live in the country on farms and ranches. A sheep ranch in Australia. So this is like a farm where they take care of sheep. And we know what you can make with that sheep's wool, don't we? We learned about it a couple months ago. Yeah, a sweater. Australia's first people are called Aborigines. They have many traditions from long ago. This is an Aboriginal children, and he's learning a special dance from the grown-ups. Who are the Aborigines? I've never heard that word before. I don't know what it means, so it's an unknown word. When great readers hear an unknown word, they ask a question. Who are the Aborigines? Yeah, those people, and they are the first people that lived in Australia. What do the Aboriginal children learn in this photograph? You got it. They learn a dance from the grown-ups. My favorite part. Amazing animals. Australia has unusual animals. Kangaroos hop very fast to go from place to place. Oh my goodness, look at that kangaroo. A mother kangaroo carries a baby in her pouch. Do you hear any unknown words on this page? What question can you ask? Yes, what is a kangaroo? If you see a kangaroo, point to it. You got it. That's a kangaroo. It's an animal that hops and it can carry babies in its pouch. Koalas live in trees. They eat the leaves and they sleep most of the time. If you are acting like a koala at home and you sleep most of the time, touch your nose. Ooh, I think Ruby's acting like a koala over there on the couch. The word koala means no drink. Koalas get most of their water from their food. What types of animals live in Australia? Yes, koalas and yes, kangaroos. Land and water. The center of Australia is dry and is called the outback. The outback is hot during the day and cold at night. This is the outback in Australia. Uluru Rock is in the outback. It is the world's largest rock. Whoa, that's pretty big. Australia has forests with tall trees and many plants. Some are found nowhere else in the whole world. This is a eucalyptus tree that's growing in Australia. Say eucalyptus. Good. That might be an unknown word for you. You might have never heard of eucalyptus before, but we just learned that eucalyptus is a type of tree. Australia is home to the Great Barrier Reef. It is the world's biggest coral reef. Now, Kipsters, when you look closely at this photograph, what do you know about the Great Barrier Reef? What else do you know? Yeah, the Great Barrier Reef is where fish live, and it's underwater. The caption says, beautiful coral and many kinds of fish live in the Great Barrier Reef. So some of the things that you're seeing over here, this is coral, and then these are all the fish that live in the Great Barrier Reef. And people are working really hard to protect the Great Barrier Reef so that it stays safe and all the animals can stay healthy. Rain falls in Australia's low mountains. It creates waterfalls. Then the water flows to the oceans that surround this tiny continent. This is the Barron Falls in Australia. Modern marvels. The Sydney Opera House is Australia's most famous building. Its roof is made of curved shapes. Each roof section weighs up to 15 tons. That's as big as 2 male elephants. So each of these curved sections right there, they weigh so much that they are as heavy as 2 big male elephants. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the silliest animal I've ever seen in my life. Meet a platypus. That's a platypus. Platypuses live in lakes, swamps, and rivers in Australia. They have a bill like a duck. They have webbed feet. Platypuses are mammals, but they lay eggs. These are some words that you've learned today. Some of them might have been unknown words. Kangaroos, your turn. Koala, your turn. Outback, your turn. And waterfall, your turn. Kipsters, you did such a great job listening for unknown words today. Those are words that we don't understand or haven't heard before. And when you read books and you get to an unknown word, you can ask yourself or an adult around you, what does this word mean? To help yourself understand the story or the book better. Kipsters, I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow on some of our video calls and next week for some new stories and learning about the last continent, Antarctica. Have a good weekend, Kipsters.